Wow, mate,
See you
Jim
later, Jim.
Ryan, he has announced his retirement.
Yeah,
Crazy.
just after they hiked the price for pretty much all PlayStation products across the board, he says, "You're right. See y'all later. I'm
Mm.
gone." But yeah, I mean, obviously, he's had a phenomenal. Well, has he had a phenomenal stay at PlayStation since he's been
Oh,
there? I mean,
100%, mate, 100%.
uh,
I think I've been looking at Twitter and you
mm,
can see which websites, and I'm not just saying this because we're the latest PS5, but you can honestly see which like news outlets or personalities just don't have a fucking clue about the industry or PlayStation because they're like, thank God, that anyone who's saying anything negative about Jim Ryan is just pissed off because A, he didn't give them what they wanted, or B,
mm,
they're just jumping on the bandwagon to somebody else, right? Because this is a man who has launched every single PlayStation product. He's been a part of it, right? He Europe is like even during PS3, it's always been PlayStation number one ever since PS1 came out, right?
mm,
He launched. You look at the record of world Guinness World Record figures of PS4, and he smashed it. He launched a PlayStation 5 in the middle of a worldwide pandemic, and it's gone on to be the most successful gaming launch in history. It's obviously now tracking ahead of PS4, so it's the fastest selling PlayStation of all time. You look at from an IP standpoint of what he's elevated, what people dis. I think this is one thing that people really hate is the fact that he's stopped telling us everything. He stopped PlayStation from telling us what's going on, what's under development. But you look at now the size of these releases. Every time Sony release a first party game, it breaks the previous record. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And if you remember, he made that quote where he said that the priority is to make the likes of The Last of Us and Spider-Man and God of War these like humongously massive IPs, and he's obviously greenlit the adaptation of The Last of Us onto TV. He was obviously the one who finally signs off PlayStation games coming to PC as well, where they've
mm.
made more money from it. And most importantly, dude, as well, on top of all that, who was acquiring shit before Jim Ryan came in? My man went in and started acquiring companies left, right, and center. And we're going to get into that in story too. But he's bought acquisitions. He's
Mm.
got a console that is the best selling PlayStation of all time at the moment and has the biggest launch of all time. He's under his tutelage, they're breaking records every time a new IP comes out. They keep setting a new record for a PlayStation IP.
Mm-hmm.
He's expanded PlayStation to PC, and people are still bitching that it's a good thing. Where all the only thing the general consensus is, oh, he didn't give us backwards compatibility. You know what I mean? And I'm just
No, he
like, yeah, but
didn't.
look, yeah, but I mean, well, he said it himself. He was like, well, who wants to play it when it looks this trash? You know what I mean? And that's fine. And the next president can come in and find a way to monetize it. You know what I mean? And everyone looks at Jim like he hiked the prices, but everybody's hiked prices. It's just that Jim saw it first, you know what I mean? And decided to hike the prices beyond belief, which was just like, what? Do you know what I mean? But you look at what PlayStation is today compared to what it was in the PS4 generation, PS3, PS2, PS1. It's the most profitable it's ever been, right? And that's what is going to be earmarked for the next president to beat. His precedent is going to be what Jim Ryan has achieved, right? So he's either going to succeed and PlayStation's going to get even bigger, or he's going to fail and it's not going to hit Jim's numbers. But what's your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I've not really got any skin in the game, to be honest. Jim Ryan is just Jim Ryan, and it's not like it's a Shigeru
I
Miyamoto or
think,
anybody
I
from
think,
like a respectable Japanese sort of
yeah,
manufacturer. But anyway,
dinosaur.
yeah, but it's good though. I mean, it's interesting though that they're actually going for is the Hiroki to Toki as a potential
Well, he's
successor,
just
at least for
he's
the
all he,
interim.
yeah, yeah,
For the
yeah.
interim, but it'd be interesting if they actually do keep him there on board because yeah, obviously he'll be there for the transition for the next 6 months. But it kind of just makes sense just to keep him there because if you've gone through 6 months of training, for the garden leave or the handover, why don't you just continue? So what's this guy's background? What's Hiroki Totoki's background? What's his success rate? What's his success like? But I'm curious to see what they're going to do next. As always, it's a shame to see Jim Ryan leaving. But I mean, I'm surprised that a guy who doesn't even know how to hold a controller has held such a prominent position in one of the most popular game companies in the world. But yeah, man, hats off to him. He wants to spend more time with the family. It makes a lot of sense. You know, you got to find that work-life balance, and the fact that he's made that decision at his age as well. Yeah,
Mm.
he can still run and do things, and who knows, we might even see him working for the competitor or even
Nah,
independent.
he's fully retiring. But I mean, Toki won't take it because he's a big deal at Sony. He's the chief operating officer, so the COO and president of Sony Group Corporation. So he's actually the second highest ranked executive in the company after the chairman and CEO, Kenericho Yoshida. So he is already higher, you know. So Jim
Mm,
Ryan was talking to Toki and presenting his numbers to Toki. So I think
mm,
what the smart move is obviously Toki is going to have a big say with Yoshida, and Toki working alongside Jim will allow him to see how Jim operates. You know, he's bloodthirsty, man. He knows what he's doing when it comes to money. So Toki will look at that and think, okay, this is what I need to replace. You know,
mm.
so I can't have a Phil Spencer like person who is just a bit all over the place
A
when it
bit
comes
loose,
to this.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's crazy, man. You know, but obviously Shuhei Yoshida, um, there's been so many people before Hans Jack Tretton, Jackie T. You know what I mean? There's been loads of people who have come and gone at PlayStation, you know, and every time somebody comes in, they change something just ever so little and it gets bigger and bigger.
Mm,
So
yeah, yeah, good. Well, yeah, fair play to him. So April, I wonder if they're gonna do like a farewell speech for him. You know what I mean? Like, what are they gonna do? Cheers for hiking up the price, Jim.
yeah, he'll go
No problem.
quietly into the sun.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. All right, then cool. Let's roll on to the next one then.